While he's a self-confessed nationalist and staunch believer in the Nigeria project, and having played a major role in the evolution of contemporary Lagos politics, the man, Joe Igbokwe, says he is greatly disturbed by the increasing culture of violence in his native Anambra, and indeed the rest of the states in the southeast. And right now, he's joining us to talk about efforts of the Southeast governors to contain the problem, the lack of civil engagement between federal authorities and separatist groups in the East, and as Special Advisor to Lagos State Governor on Drainage and Water Resources, what are the plans of his agency regarding the approach of the rainy season? Good morning. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, Joe, it's good to have you truly on the morning show. Good to see you again. But before we talk about the security situation in Anambra, let's start with your main assignment. You recall when you were made a special advisor on drainage and water resources. There were some people who were very critical. They said, of all things, they have put Joe Igbokwe in charge of gutters in Lagos. But truly, we're now in the rainy season. Every rainy season, the Lagos state government assures us that there will be no flooding, that the drainage has been taken care of. Where are we with the drainage system? Because I recall last year, after the initial promise, we had issues. What is the guarantee that this year, rainfall will not displace and cause extra problems for Lagosians? Let's start there before we go to Anambra.
Well, Dr. Bati, it's nice to talk to you this morning. Drainage, we are doing well. Don't forget that Lagos is a coastal city. Almost 25 million people, they generate waste. And some of these waste find itself into the drains. And we're always there to dredge and construct new channels. We did a lot last year, and we have mapped out a lot to do this year. We're not mindful of where we are, and we are doing our best. I can't give you the number of the channels that we have dredged or constructed, but I know that we did about 42 last year, and 42 construction, 42 construction, and dredged almost 200 and something primary channels, secondary channels, and then tertiary channels. Tertiary channels, the one you have in front of your houses. Then you now move from that one you have in front of your houses, drains, it now goes into the secondary channels. From secondary channels, it now go into the primary channels, and it discharges into the lagoon and then into the Atlantic Ocean. So that is what we are doing to make it free, make the drains free. The ones that are not aligned, we are aligning them. That is concrete alignment, so that will ensure easy clean up, and then easy flow of flood into the collector drains, and then into the primary channels, and then into the lagoon, and then into the Atlantic Ocean. So we are doing a lot. If you look around Lagos, you will see people in yellow dresses. We call them a flood abatement gang. What they do is to go to the tertiary drains, the one in front of our house, and even the collectors, the secondary canals, to remove whatever is there, so that you can have water will find a place to stay. That's what we are doing. But then, our major problem is our people, the attitude that drains are not where you go and dump refuse. That is not where Lagos State spend billions every year to evacuate, construct new channels, evacuate, clean up, to allow easy flow. But sediments, Lagosians are not helping us. Drains are where they go to put their refuse. It's becoming a culture. There's one particular troublesome channel, primary channel. We call it System 60. It runs through Agegemoto Road to Luth and then down, to Odero, then to Amuodofi, moving towards the river. You see my two. So we clean that place. It takes time. You need to see the type of work that we did there. And it rained 2 Saturdays ago, just a few Saturdays ago. If you get there, it looks as if you have not done anything. You see PET bottles, all kinds of things, buckets, baskets, all kinds of things into the drains. So we have to change our attitude. I can imagine where every Lagosian comes out in front of his house and clean up, remove things in the drain, all over Lagos on a certain day. Because what you see in our secondary drains and primary drains, those things are things that are coming from in front of our houses. I mean the tertiary drains. When the tertiary drains are dirty, then it's going to affect the secondary channel, it's going to affect the primary channel, it's going to, some of these things will move into the lagoon. So that's into the lagoon. So that's what we'll see. We are doing a lot. As I speak to you now, the FR gang are all over doing their work, deserting, removing what we have inside the drains to prepare for the rainy season. Then like I told you, this is a coastal area. There are people that are living in low-lying areas. They are not supposed to be there. They are not supposed to be there in the first place. Nobody gave them permit to go and build there. You have them in Ijora, Badia, Agility, Owode. Such areas are reservoirs. When it rains heavily, you see water there. We call them wetlands. And when after the rains, they now start moving. But people are building there. And people are also building on our setbacks, making it impossible for us to put our swamp boogie to remove the dirt and then put it somewhere and then evacuate. People are building on the setbacks without permit. So we are removing them. We have an enforcement gang in the ministry that goes about all over. You can't believe it. Even in Banana Island, where people with full dose of Western education are living, you still see people using their walls, their fence to block the channels. That is what we see. It has nothing to do with literacy. Those who are supposed to know do it. The lower people do it. The middle class do it. You can see somebody, a doctor, an engineer, he moves out of his house, loads his garbage inside his boot. By 5 a.m., we just dump it by the roadside and just walk away and drive away. We have got some of them, So this is what we have. But we're not complaining. We are doing our work. Then there's another one. There's this Ogun Dam. Occasionally, they release water. Excess they release. But they always give warning. And we always, anytime we get information, and then we get ourselves prepared, we warn people who are living in low-lying areas that these things are coming. It's not done every other day. But once they discharge, you still have some areas like Owode, Owode, Oniri and Onko, all those areas are GDT. Agboiketu, some of those areas, those people who are living in low-lying areas will experience flooding. But it's not permanent. It will flow away and they still come back. So that's where we are. We are doing a lot.
You've just described quite a Sisyphean task of trying to lead followers who simply will not comply. And like you've just rightly pointed out, your address does not really demonstrate the caliber of your character. But what are you going to do to get around this seemingly insurmountable task? Because you really are rolling a stone up a hill and watching it roll back down, rolling it up again, and it rolls back down. It seems like an exercise in futility unless drastic action is taken. So do you think it should be stronger legislation or advocacy? What is the way around this?
No, you see, education is key. Talking to people is key. We are making progress. Some people are listening to us. Some people don't like making mistakes two times or 3 times, So we are talking to them. Our problem is the lowest of the low. They don't know. But I believe that with time, with sanctions, because sanctions will come, people will be taken to courts. We have seen people caught dropping refuse somehow, people who are supposed to know better, and they were taken, some of them were taken to go and clean up a certain area. Before if you do that for 1 week, then you will never do it again. In Ghana, I remember in Ghana, if you throw a pet bottle somewhere, if you are caught, they will take you to pick every pet bottle around that place for about 2 or 3 hours. You will never do it again. So that's where we are getting to, and we will get to that. We are punishing people. There are sanctions. We are removing infractions. We are removing people who built into our setbacks. It makes it impossible for us to evacuate what is there, using one buggy to evacuate what is there, and then cut it away, because vehicles must come into that place and take it away. So we are removing those things. We are clearing them. We're educating people, all kinds of environmental clubs, we have it. Children, we're educating them. We're starting from second. We have been having meetings with them. We call, I've forgotten them, we call it, but we are trying to catch them young. Going to primary schools, going to secondary schools, because that's what we need to do. In advanced countries, you can't even spit on the roadside. You can't drop anything. And we're also trying to see, because our major problem is this water sachets, PET bottles, and so these takeaway plates. We are trying to see if values, when people are now seeing what to do with these PET bottles, using it for so many things. So once there is a value for that, you won't see these things again. Right now, what they do is, if you collect 1 kg of PET bottles, they give you 15 naira. There's no value. But if you pay like 500 naira, or 500, at least 500, you won't see any of this thing again. So we are getting to that place. There's so many things people now do with PET bottles. And I can tell you, in the next 2-3 years, we may not find it again. Before, irons are everywhere. Iron. Metals everywhere. Vehicles, broken down vehicles, people just leave it there. Today you cannot find them. People are going about picking this, even the smallest iron, because it's now money. So we will get to that in case of PET bottles. So that's where we are. We are doing a lot. We are doing a lot in Lagos. Okay. I am the special advisor for drainage and water resources. I know what we are doing.
Okay. Like you said earlier on, you guys are doing well. So I think I understand your birthday falls around the period around this time. Congratulations in advance to you, Mr. Joe Igbokwe. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, your birthday is today. So happy birthday to you, actually. Happy birthday to you. Your birthday is today. So happy birthday to you, Joe.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Grace of God has been sufficient.
Yeah, and it's been a great
sufficient,
one
yes.
for you. But let's talk about the politics
of
insecurity in the eastern part of the country. Ebubeagu, ESN, what is happening in Imo. A lot of people are saying this is leading up to 2023. What are your thoughts on all of that issue?
Okay, my thought is that we have seen this before, and we are seeing it again. And I'm going to speak to you this morning like an elder, because my people say if the elders are not at home, children may wear snakes as necklaces. And I've seen pockets of violence there. I've seen attack on police stations. I've seen the killing of police officers. That is an attack on the federal government. That is an attack on the corporate existence of Nigeria as a political entity. And as a student of history, as the author of Igbo 25 years after Biafra in 1995, as the author of the latest book, Igbo 50 years after Biafra, that was presented to the press yesterday, I am telling you, with all the emphasis in my command this morning, that it should not be. We cannot continue to repeat history. My people say a coward will be the one that will be pointing to the ruins in the house of a former hero. I believe you got me.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm with you. We're with you, yeah.
You can hear?
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear you.
Only a coward will be the one that will be pointing to what happened to the house of a former hero in the community. You see, we are playing too much in this country. And I'm worried as an elder. I'm worried. It shouldn't be the Southeast. It shouldn't, despite the fact that there has been systematic marginalization of our people, because I feel that if you take the zones in this country, Northwest has 7 states. North Central has 6 states. Northeast has 6 states. Southwest has 6 states. South has 6 states. Only Southeast has 5 states. And when Obasanjo was in power, there was a constitutional conference. And they agreed that one state should be carved out of Southeast, given our population, given our enterprise, you know. And I didn't know what happened. It didn't materialize. It didn't happen. So what I'm saying, and I want it as my birthday gift, give Southeast additional 1 state. If you do that, you add 3 senators instantly, about 10 members of House of Rep instantly. You will have 1 state capital. You will have a governor. You have the deputy governor. You have the state assembly. You will have 1 university. You will have so many things. About 12,000 jobs will be created. 12,000 jobs will be created. So many things will change. Because in everything you share, we will have more local governments. We have other things that time and space will not permit me to write here. So that denial is unacceptable. That denial is taking a lot from our people. How can such a vibrant people that have invested across Nigeria and across Africa be so marginalized? I think Nigeria should give it a thought. It will change a lot of things. We have the least number of local governments. We have list. When the governors gather, we have the list. When the senators gather, we have the list. When the House of Rep gather, we have the list. No. What we have is not in tandem with what we bring to the table in Nigeria. Go and check Abuja. Go and check all the great cities in Nigeria. You will see their investment. So what is given to us is not in tandem with our production or what we produce. So this is what Nigerians, not only Igbo people, will be talking about. If we seek for equity, justice, and fair play, we must do something. We must do something. We feel marginalized. And you see it. It's systemic. It has been there. And 50 years after Biafra, no Igbo man has been president of Nigeria. Are they not part and parcel of this country? But then, we need to play the politics. We don't need to bomb bridges. We build bridges. We play the politics. You do the connection. That's I'm talking to my people now. That's what we call cultural competence. Cultural competence in the sense that you have to leave your small enclave and move out to others to join and build bridges. We are not doing it. You stay in one corner and you'll be abusing people. You are not networking. You are not doing anything. You are not supporting others. You have to support others for them to support you. If you want to be the president of Nigeria, you won't have to be the president of Nigeria with Igbo votes alone. Other Nigerians will have to vote for you. When other Nigerians are building bridges, I have seen it, I've been in Lagos since 1986. And I've seen the politics, I've seen the way they play it. Let me shock you. Let me shock you. It was Achiwaju. When you talk about cultural competence, it was Achiwaju that went to Buhari after scoring 11 million votes in 2003. He didn't win. In 2007, he didn't win. In 2011, he didn't win. Almost 12 million votes, he didn't win. The man gave up. He cried and gave up. But Achiwaju called Baba Konde, called Dr. Tony Momo, and a few other people. They then went to Daura to go and meet Buhari. And they said, look, Baba, you scored 11 million votes in 2003, 11 million votes in 2007, almost 12 million votes in 2011. If we give you Southwest, you will be president. And Baba said, is it possible? Can it be done? I said, just accept. This is what's on ground. We'll make you president. And it happened. That is building bridges. That is cultural competence. Another one. When Abiola won election fair and square in 1993, and he was killed, his wife was killed, and other people, and many people, all the leaders in the Southwest, I was here, we are in jail. Did the Yorubas go to war?
Well, Joe.
It was an
Joe,
unbelievable atrocity committed against them.
We need to thank you.
They negotiated.
Well,
they negotiated.
Well,
they
Joe,
networked with other Nigerians.
Joe, if I may just interrupt you here, we would like to thank you. We've run out of time. But for a man who is 65 years, you look really good. Congratulations once again.